So when resistors are connected end to end in a single path, they are in series. So the symbol for a resistor in circuit diagrams is a zigzag line. So for the properties of the circuit containing resistors that are connected in series, so first is the current is the same in all resistors because any charge that flows to one resistor flows to the other. And for the sum of potential differences across the resistors, it's equal to the total potential difference across the combination or equal to the voltage source. So here's an example of two resistors connected in series to a battery. So assuming that the flow of charges is from negative terminal to positive terminal of the battery. So there's only one path for the charges. So expect same value for electric current for the two resistors. And in terms of the potentials, so the source in volts would be equal to the summation of the potentials here at R1 and R2. And for the equivalent resistance, so we simply add the resistance values, and the effect of this is just the same as the original combination of resistors. So for this equation, we can say that the equivalent resistance is always greater than any individual resistor. And if one element fails in a series circuit, the entire circuit goes dead, like old Christmas lights where one bulb knocks out the whole string. So here's another example of a circuit diagram showing resistors connected in series. So for the overall resistance or the equivalent resistance, we just add all these values. So 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 is equal to 18 ohms. Resistors are connected side by side across the same 2 points. It's like the two bulbs here. So they are in parallel. Okay, so they're connected in parallel to a battery, for example. So this is the corresponding circuit diagrams shown here. The current flow would be from negative to positive, and once it enters this node or junction, so some of the charges would flow here, some would flow here. So the amount would vary depending on the resistors present. So as if there's more resistance here, then it's expected that the opposition is greater. So a reduced amount of electric current will be flowing in this part of the circuit. And once they reach this junction, so it's back to the overall electric current. So the sum of I2 and I1 would be equal to this, right? So the next diagram shows the equivalent resistance of the two parallel resistors. So the reciprocal of the equivalent resistance is the summation of the reciprocals of the individual resistances. Okay, so the potential difference across each resistor is the same because each is connected directly across the battery terminals. So across the battery terminals. So if the source here is, let's say, 10 volts, so the potential difference here is also 10 volts and also here 10 volts. So since the overall or the equivalent resistance is the summation of the reciprocals or the inverses of the individual resistance, so we can say that the equivalent is always less than the smallest resistor in the group. So for one of the diagrams shown earlier, The equivalent resistance was given already in that slide. So it's a total of 18 ohms for the equivalent resistance. Or if we're going to write mathematically, okay, the equation, so just add all the resistance values. So that's 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7. Make sure to check if the unit is consistent in ohms. If not, then you need to make conversions. Okay, so that's 18 ohms. So for letter B, so given the potential difference of the battery, 6 volts, we have to find the current in the circuit. So since this is in series connections, we expect the same value of I for any point along this circuit. Okay, so using Ohm's law, so I is the ratio of voltage or potential difference to the equivalent resistance for the circuit. So that's 6 volts over 18 ohms, or that's 6 over 18 or 1 over 3. So since the units are already in volts and ohms, so automatic the unit for electric current is amperes. So for resistors in parallel, like for this one, the three are connected in parallel and a potential difference of 18 volts is maintained between points A and B. So we have to find the current in each resistor. So we expect different values of I since the resistances are also different. And we have to find the equivalent resistance of the circuit. So for a parallel connection, the potential difference here is the same as the potential difference here and also here and also here. So we can just divide the potential difference by the resistance value to solve for the individual current. Okay. So for I1, so just divide 18 volts. This is using Ohm's law also. So 18 volts over 3 ohms. So the unit is amperes. So that's 6 amperes. And then for the second one, so also 18 volts and the resistance is 6 ohms. So it's 3 amperes. So as you can see here, the greater the resistance, so the lesser the electric current value. And for the third one, it's 18 volts over 9 ohms. So that's 2 amperes. So for the equivalent resistance of the circuit, so we have two options. So first is using the formula, the inverse of the equivalent resistance is the sum of the inverses of the equivalent resistances. So we have 3. So we have 1 over the equivalent resistance is 1 over 3 ohms plus 1 over 6 ohms plus 1 over 9 ohms. So we can combine the three fractions. We get the least common denominator, which is 18 ohms. So 18 divided by 3 times 1, that's 6. Okay, plus 18 divided by 6 times 1, that's 3. And 18 divided by 9 times 1 is 2. So that's 6 plus 3, 9 plus 2, 11. So 1 over the equivalent resistance is 9, or rather 11 over 18 ohms. So we get the reciprocal. So equivalent resistance is 18 over 11 ohms. And we can verify using Ohm's law if this is the correct answer. So by adding the current values here, so for a parallel connection, so I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. And if we multiply that I to the equivalent resistance, so the result should be 18 volts. So that is the second option. So if we're going to get the total I, so that's I1 plus I2 plus I3, 6 plus 3 plus 2 in amperes. So that's 9 plus 2, so that's 11 amperes. Okay, and to solve for the equivalent resistance, or we can prove that the voltage is 18 by multiplying the equivalent resistance and the current value. So 18 over 11 times 11 is 18. Okay, so the first method, though, is more safe to use since we're not using a computed value, okay, to solve for the equivalent resistance. So we're simply using the given values. But if really confident sa algebraic part here in solving for the equivalent resistance, so you can just add all the I values and then mm, divide, okay, the 18 volts by 11 amperes. So which would lead to the same value, 18 over 11. We have here another example. This time it's a combination of series and parallel connections. So we're going to fill in the table, okay? And then we need to draw other diagrams to help us in solving for this these missing, okay, values or lacking values. So we start with reducing the number of resistors, meaning we get the equivalent resistance for the entire circuit. So as you can see here, the battery is in series with R1, okay, but it is in parallel with R2 and also parallel with R3. So if we're going to write a single zigzag line for the combination of R2 and R3, so it would be parallel, okay, to not parallel. So we're going to use parallel connection, okay, meaning we use the reciprocals of the resistances in finding the equivalent resistance for R2 and R3. We're going to draw the diagram. So as is for R1, since it is already in series with the source, so we're going to combine R2 and R3, okay, drawing single resistor symbol. So this represents the combination of R2 and R3, and this is R1. So R2 and R3 are connected in parallel to the supply, okay, to the battery. So meaning the reciprocal of R23 is 1 over R1 plus, or rather 1 over R2, sorry, 1 over R2 and 1 over R3. Okay, so we're going to plug in the values. So it's 100 ohms for R2 and 250 for R3. So if you get the LCD, Wait, if we get the LCD, it's 500 ohms, right? So 500 divided by 100 times 1, that's 5. And then plus 500 divided by 250, that's 2. And that's still equal to the reciprocal of R23. So we get the inverse of this fraction on the right. So we get 500 ohms over 7. Okay, so do not round off yet. Anyway, we'll be using a calculator, so just leave it this fraction as it is. So for the exact value. And then we're going to find the overall resistance. So if we're going to combine now R23 and R1, so they are now connected in series with the source. So to get the overall resistance, so let me draw the corresponding circuit diagram with only one resistor symbol left, okay, representing the resistance for the three resistors. Okay, so this is already in series connection, so therefore R123 would be R1 plus R23. So R1 is 180 and R23 is 500 over 7 in ohms. So the overall resistance is 1760 over 7 ohms. Or in decimal form, that's approximately 251.43 ohms. So we can now put the answer here, 1760 over 7 ohms. And then for the other cells in this table, so we're going to solve first for the, we start with the I value or the V values. Okay, so in analyzing what to do next, okay, so we write the known values first para klaro as a complete na, no? So we have 7 volts here and also here. So R1 and R23 are already known. So let's put the values here. So R1 is 180 and R23, okay, that's 3 or rather 500 over 7 ohms, and R123 is 1760 over 7 ohms. So for this diagram, you have the complete R and V values that can be used to solve for the value of I, okay, for the entire circuit, okay, this compressed circuit. So the total I. So we're going to solve for that. So I won't put any what to call this subscript for this, so it means it's the overall I. Okay, so using Ohm's law, so we have 7 volts over 1760 over 7 ohms, which is equal to 49 over 1760 amperes. So it's the amount of current in R123, okay? And going to the previous diagram, okay? So R1 and R23 are in series connection. So we can put here that I1, okay, is 49 over 1760 amperes. And for I23 also, okay, it's 49 over 1760 amperes. Or if it's too crowded here, oh no, nawala. So if it's too crowded there, so you can just put the values here instead. So ano na lang. So I1 is equal to I1 or I total rather is equal to I1 and also equal to I at the resistor. Okay, 2, 3. So we now have a value here for I1. So it's 49 over 1760 amperes. And then for the combination of R2 and R3, so they are in parallel, so they don't have the same value of I. Instead, ilang tungaon? Okay, see, 49 over 1760 amperes. Okay, so before going there, let's check no say available na no, for R1. R and I are already known, so we can solve for V and also for the power rating. Okay, so for the value of V here at R1, so solve for V1. So using Ohm's law, so it's I1 times R1. So that's 49 over 1760 amperes times 180 ohms. So it's 441 over 88 exactly. Okay, volts, or that is around 5 volts. Okay, so we now go to which part? Okay, so since the voltage here, we know what they say R1 in this diagram. Okay, so let me draw back the R1. So we know already what's the potential difference here. Okay, so V1 is 441 over 88 okay, volts. So we know that for a series connection, okay, the sum of V1 and V23 would be equal to 7 volts. So meaning we can solve for V23 okay, by subtracting this from 7 volts. So we're going to solve for V23. So that's 7 volts minus 441 over 88 volts. So 175 over 88 volts. Which is, by the way, just equal to V at 2 and V at 3. Okay, because for this single resistor, okay, it's a combination of these connected in parallel. So whatever is the potential difference here, so it's the same for R2 and R3. So we'll label, okay, V2 is 175 over 88 volts. Also for V3, it's 175 over 88 volts. So you can summarize here that this is equal to V2 and equal to V3 for parallel connection. So we can write the values here. So V1 is 441 over 88 volts. At R2 is 175 over 88 volts. Also for R3. Okay. And the total is 7 volts. And then for the I values, we use Ohm's law. So for R2, complete naman si V and R. So we can solve for I2. So using Ohm's law, we can now solve for I2 since complete na si V2 and R2. So V2 is 175 over 88 volts and R2 is 100 ohms. So we get 7 over 352 in amperes. And also for I3, that's V3 over R3. It's 175 over 88 volts over 250 ohms. 7 over 880 amperes. So we're going to write that here. So that's 7 over 352 and 7 over 880. And the total I, it was already computed earlier. So it should coincide with the total V over total R. Okay. So if we're going to use Ohm's law to solve for the total I, so it's 7 volts over 1760 over 7 ohms, so leading to 49 over 1760 amperes. So it's the same value as the solved I, okay, total I earlier from the previous slide. And for the individual power values of each resistor, so we can use the product of I times V, or maybe V squared over R, or I squared times R. Okay, so we don't have a choice. Aside from R, so we use either I or V, okay, but these are computed already, so better unta if the I or V value is already known para lesser error, okay, the possibility of getting an incorrect answer is much lower. Okay, anyway, so let's say choice. So we solve for P1, which is I1 times B1. Okay, we'll stick with multiplication than division, would be easier. Okay, so 49 over 1760, that's in amperes, multiplied to 441 over 88 in volts. So the power unit is watts. So it's 21609 over 154880 watts, or it's just approximate to 4 decimal places. So that's 0.1395 watts. And then for the second resistor, so we have I2 times V2. Okay, so 7 over 352 amperes times Okay. So, um, wrong, okay, wrong value, correct value for I and V for 1. For V2, it should be 175, okay, over 88 volts. So 7 over 352 times 175 over 88. So that's 1225 over 3976 watts, or that's approximately 0.0395. And then for P3, so that's I3 times V3, so 7 over 880 times 175 over 88 is 245. So 245 over 15,488 watts, or in decimal form, that's 0.0158. So if we're going to add all values and compare it with the total values of I and V, so we should get the same value. Okay, so for total P, we're going to use P1 plus P2 plus P3, so that's 0.1395, or yeah, let's use na lang the decimal form kay mas gamay ang digits na isulat. 0395, or you can store the values in your calculators. So this is just an approximation. 0.1948, okay, watts. And let's verify, okay, using the I and V values. So I total and V total. So that's 49 over 1760 amperes times 7 volts. 49 over 1760 times 7. So we get 0.1949. Okay, so a slight difference in the last decimal place. So if we're using the exact value, so we'll get 0.1949. So this is double checking, okay, if the values here for I and V are correct. You can also verify using the resistance values, okay, if mo-coincide ra ba, no, with Ohm's law and the P equals IV, or P equals V squared over R, or P equals I squared times R formulas. Okay, so that's approximately 0.194. So let's stick with the more exact value, 1949. Okay, what?